Oh,
it's pretty simple. Not all the birds can handle that kind of training, but the ones that do it,
the one that survives
they're
and
bulletproof, right? Yeah. But that, you couldn't do that if you wanted to train your pigeons 80 or 90 miles. It would take you all day if you're going, because you'd have to go through the city and
different directions, right?
And it could be ridiculous, right?
Exactly.
So, and the same thing in Europe. Europe's so nobody trains hard over there because it's so hard. Such as all the cities are so close together and so densely populated. You can't go that far. You'd be all day. So different way of doing things.
Yeah, we agree with that. Because a lot of pigeon fanciers in the Philippines do that too. That's why they get good results every races.
Right.
So if you keep your pigeons conditioned with that, like they familiarize their way home, like regularly. So that's gonna be the
then they know.
That's the reason.
They don't. I never lost food. Right. They were in the basket.
Exactly.
Road training, right? They knew, and it was kind of neat to watch, because when we'd start doing that 90-mile toss, they would be like 2 hours and 10 minutes, and then kind of all of a sudden they'd knock about 15 minutes off that time, and then they were like an hour and 54, an hour and 55 minutes every time. And they'd go along for 2 or 3 weeks like that, and then all of a sudden, again, they'd knock another 10 minutes off. Down to like an hour and 45 minutes. And now they're ready. Now that's as good as they ever got, right? And but it was kind of neat to watch, right? So, and then there was times where I did it a couple times. We'd have a 200-mile race from the east on Saturday, and the North Combine delayed because of bad weather up north till Sunday. So those birds would come home from Saturday's race, 200 miles, go in the loft, get a drink of water, some food, rest. I'd basket them up, take them, ship them north. Another 200 miles, right? And boom, they win there too. And people are like, what? Well, yeah. But I wouldn't have any hesitation sending those birds to a 400-mile race. So why would I not send them to two 200-mile races with a half a day's rest in between? Right? But people don't think that way. Oh no, the bird just flew. You have to rest it for a week.
That's what I'm about to ask you, Bill. Like, if you send your bird like 200 miles, and then you're gonna send them the next day, the same
training?
Yeah, the same training. So how do you recover them?
Well, I mean, if the conditioning is there, the physical fitness is there, 200 miles is nothing.
Okay.
Right? Just feeding is something that a lot of people don't understand, and I'm not a professional at it, but I've taken the time to research the metabolism of the pigeon. And,
that's interesting.
Again, one of my friends in Belgium, he's a pretty smart guy about feed and stuff like that. So basically, carbohydrates take 12 to 24 hours to become usable energy to a pigeon.
Like the complex carbohydrates.
Right. Okay. Right. And fats take 40 to 48 hours.
Okay, makes sense.
So we're racing today, right now, right? If I would have fed yesterday high fat, that's of no use to the pigeon today. Okay. Because it hasn't
breakdown yet.
It hasn't broken it down. It hasn't stored the fat
into the system,
in the body
right?
for the pigeon to use. Right? It's still in the process of digestion. So the process of digestion on its own burns calories.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't want my pigeon
To
burning calories digesting food that it can't use while it's
while
it's in flight. Right? I want that process to be finished.
Wow.
So I will feed on Thursday night. I'll give them all the high fat food they want to eat. Okay. Keep them lean all week. Have a diet mix all week. Thursday night I give them the high fat. Load them up. And Friday, depending on the distance of the race, if it's a short race, I won't give them nothing. Okay. Today we're flying about 240 miles. I gave them a little bit of corn yesterday morning, right around 10 o'clock. 24 hours from 10 o'clock is down, right? So that corn that I fed them yesterday is carbohydrates.
Yep.
That's available to them right now in flight.
That's a good point, Bill.
The fat that I gave them on Thursday is available to them now in flight.
Because it was all broken down, right?
It's all broken down. So, and the other thing about it is some guys would ship their pigeons Friday night with a full crop of food. Okay. And yeah, a healthy pigeon, if you check it in the morning, its crop is empty. But let's say a pigeon weighs 12 ounces. Okay. And you fed it an ounce of food.
Yep.
Okay. Even though its crop is empty, that ounce of food is still in its digestive system, right?
Yep.
It hasn't crapped it out yet, right? So basically now that 12-ounce pigeon is carrying an ounce of
undigested
feed, undigested or at some point in digestion. So it's robbing it of calories that it could be using for flying to digest that food, and it's carrying
plus
about
extra
8% of its body weight for the course of the race.
So it's hard for the pigeons to do that,
right? So
like double murder.
Yeah, you're gonna run a 20-mile marathon with a 10-pound bag of rocks on your back? No, it doesn't make any sense, right? So feeding it's a bit of a science.
Science, I agree with that. That's a good point. Like most of the time, I am really confused with that one. But now you explain to us, so it makes it more clear to deal with that.
And different feeds, right? Like some guys love feeding safflower. Okay.
For fats, right?
For fat.
Okay.
Right. But if you have good safflower, that's a good feed. But a lot of safflower is empty. Right?
You just
they
like
bleach
the shell
to make it look pretty and white. It doesn't come off the field that color, right? If you throw it in water, it'll float. There's nothing in it. So you think you're giving the birds fat, right? All you're giving them is fiber, right?
You gotta grab them up.
Sunflower hearts are a much better alternative to safflower. High fat, they're not empty, and the omega 3, 6, and 9 balance
like for the heart and
is better, right?
Yeah, I've read that. Okay.
So, peanuts. A lot of guys love to use peanuts. Again, if you have good peanuts, that's great. I haven't fed peanuts for years because if peanuts aren't properly stored, there's a fungus that can grow in them. You can't see it, you can't tell. You give it to your pigeons and it's not good, right? So to be safe, you have to bake them in the oven to destroy the fungus and then store them properly after that. So it's a lot of work, right? But yeah, I mean, they love them if you can. Once they're on to peanuts, they love peanuts, right? But I think there's safer ways of getting that fat to them.
So basically, the sunflower is better than the other two. Right.
Yeah. I like sunflower hearts. Sunflower hearts is good.
Not just fat, but the omega 3 something.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Hemp. Again, it's good. You got to be careful not to feed them too much. Get them kind of wired up.
It's gonna go.
But it's good. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any particular maize? I mean, corn you're feeding your birds, or just the whole corn and that's it?
Yeah, just the whole corn.
Okay.
again, popcorn. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want popcorn. Well,
Yeah.
popcorn. They're small. They're hard.
Yeah.
Right. They don't digest popcorn in 12 to 24 hours.
Exactly.
It takes them a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Peas. Right. I don't feed any peas in my racing mix. Right. Because peas create lactic acid.
Yeah.
Causes muscles to stiffness.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Don't eat it. Right. And peas take 3 days to digest properly.
They are much harder than
Right. So it's again a slower process of digestion. It consumes energy. So barley's great.
So how does barley works on your pigeons, Bill? Barley.
How does it work?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I fed straight barley in the wintertime.
Okay.
Okay. And if you give them all they want to eat, they'll get fat on it.
Yep.
Right? People say, "Oh, barley's no good. Pigeons don't like it." It's maybe the last thing they'll eat.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you and I, Mom puts spinach on your plate.
Yeah.
It's the last thing you want to eat,
yeah.
but it's probably the best thing for you, right? So, barley's good. It's got lots of fiber in it. Control the amount. It's a good protein, right?
That's gonna fill the corn.
It's a more complete feed than corn is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I've been using the Versalaga D-Pure, they call it, which has safflower, barley, some red Milo, and then this Versalaga has these little, they call them kibbles, or like little
Sorghum?
pellets.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like a little small pellet. There's green ones and orange ones.
Green. Yeah.
Sorry?
Is that a super corn?
Super corn thing.
Yeah, energy corn they call the orange one. I'll grab a little handful of it. That's the younger team there.
Okay.
There's some hens. Last year I flew a team of younger goats that time. Now on race day, I have them all broke pretty much over there, but on race day a lot of them still come here.
Dito daw papasok mamaya yung mga niload 7 pigeons like 300 miles away. Yung iba doon. Kaya may wire. Ang laki ng Loft. Susunod na nahuli kasi kami mag-entry, so sa susunod mag-e-entry kami dito. Baka magdadala ko ng ibon galing sa Philippines. Tatry ko dito. Ganun na rin naman, gagastos ka rin so tatry ko mga ibon ko doon sila Nogat and Belfort.
Lots of pigeons.
Lots of pigeons. Too many pigeons.
I have 4 young birds at home. Four? Yeah.
Flying them?
No, I don't have a coop for them. I just put in the basement.
Oh no. Yeah, you want to look inside?
Yeah, if you can. I love the smell, Bill. You know the smell?
Yeah. So I've made it this way, kind of as to prevent young bird sickness from spreading. Because when they vomit grains up, a lot of it will fall through, and the other birds don't get it. Right now, the young cocks and hens are all together, but later on, I will separate the hens and cocks. So the hens will stay here on these perches, and then I've got box perches over there. I'll keep them separate, and I'll show the hens to the cocks you know, for
Yeah,
an hour
for
before the race.
For motivation, right?
Right. I'll give the cock's nest holes and stuff.
That's why you're not using brush for your pigeons. That's the thing.
That's right.
And it fits.
Yeah.
Because you said a lot of things earlier, and they make a lot of sense.
So in here, like I'll clean the perches once a week or so.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would usually do it today, but you guys are visiting, so I'll do it tomorrow or something. And then under here, I clean this like twice a year.
As long as it's dry, Bill, that's
it's
okay.
dry. In the spring and in the fall, I tip the floor up and clean it. Right.
So how's the ventilation going then? Do you do a darkening system?
Yeah, I do darkening and cover the windows,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can see this one. Okay. And then if you look outside, you'll see the black covers over top of them, and they're open on the bottom. So here. That covers that air grill, but that's the air from the bottom. And that's the thing about the high ceiling. I put the dark brown siding on it. The sun attracts it and it creates natural protection to bring the fresh air in. Always got a few birds that like hide underneath.
Yeah, that's one.
Get out of the sun and shade, whatever. Yeah.
Can I try to?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so they're darkened. I'm going to leave them on the dark for probably 3 more weeks.
3 more weeks. I've heard if you do darkening system, they will like power molt.
Yeah, they complete the body mold, but they don't change any flights.
Any flights.
So,
How do you do that? Do you? I mean,
their primary flights stay. They don't drop.
Okay.
Right. The downside of that, you see some of this one's changed too.
Yeah.
So, and I started darkening late this year, and I'm trying a little experiment because normally at the end of the year, these 2 flights haven't changed. They get through this far before winter hits. Once the winter hits, they stop and they don't change 9 and 10. Right? So now a bunch of my yearlings, I don't like to pull flights. Some guys will just cut them.
Yeah,
I don't like to, so I let them go. So, but now I have to be cautious when I'm shipping my yearlings. I have to check their wing every week to see if they've dropped 9 or they've dropped 10, and then I don't want to send them, right?
Yeah.
So this year I thought, okay, I'm going to start darkening a little bit later. I'll let them get up a couple of flights.
Yep.
I don't know if it's going to stop the wing molt, but I'm hoping that now that I've done that, they'll go through the body mold and they'll get through the wing before winter hits. So that next year when they're yearlings, they've got a full wing.
So it's just about a timing.
Right.
Okay. So you know the cycles.
It's the first year I'm trying that.
Okay.
It might not work as I'm hoping, but it's worth a try. So yeah, I built this loft for me. I like it to be just,
Yeah.
Some guys have them too high. The pigeons go over their heads. And everything. It's just,
You're the only one who built this look?
yeah, I built this myself.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Even this one?
Yeah. Oh, these perches? No, I had the perches built by a friend of mine. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I would have built. I just didn't have time. And he's a retired guy, so he does really good work. So this is his design. He built them. That I gave him my design. I told him what I wanted. He built that for me. So yeah.
It's a good hand. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for having as well.
Yeah,
we've
no
learned a
problem.
lot, you know.
No problem at all. Yeah.
Have they here yet?
No, I haven't seen that yet. They got a good wind to deal with.
Are these your stock birds, Bill, or?
No, these are this is the younger two.
Okay.
So if I wasn't flying all those pioneer birds for my friends, this would be my loft that I fly out.
Okay. Ganda ng silver. Ay,
So
no,
it's designed.
sarap ng amoy.
Same deal. I got the ventilation in the ceiling. So
I like
basically, there's
I like this.
you know I can put an S bowl here,
Yeah.
a pair of So last year I started 57 birds in this loft. I had 51 birds for the first race,
Yep.
and I had 41 birds finish the season.
You only lost like few.
And again, before that I put more in, but yeah, you can see the down feathers are there. You can see the droppings. They're not
can
standing
monitor,
in
yeah.
them. You can really watch everything very closely here. And if they vomit, it goes down through. So this loft, for me, I love this loft for racing, right?
Yeah.
And it's cooling.
Just right,
It's
yeah.
nice in here.
Temperature, yeah.
I can slide these shut at nighttime, keep the heat in. So, but yeah, it works really good. So this year I only put about 40 in here.
Okay.
Nice little team. So you see a few of them are already pairing up. So I'm gonna have to start separating soon because I don't want the hens laying eggs yet.
Because that causes them
But
something.
yeah, this is great. I got just pull that out and scrape it into a bucket, and
Yeah, you're right. This loft is more cozy than the other one.
yeah.
Because if you're a person, then you're gonna more comfortable here
right.
compared to.
So this is the loft that I'll spend the time in and really focus on motivating the birds and stuff. And that other loft there's just too many pigeons.
Here you can focus and you can monitor them well.
So I've got some pretty nice birds in here.
Yeah, I'm looking at that outside.
This is a new mating. There was a pigeon from Poland.
Okay.
Called 808 from Karl Pazik, and that's what this is from. And I mated it to a yellow rosier's hen, queen L hen, and I like them. I got 3 of them, 3 siblings here, and
So the bloodlines you were telling us about earlier, that's yellow rosiers.
rosier's, yeah. I'm building around his family of pigeons. So, but there's some nice birds.
That catches my eyes like when we're outside.
That's another sibling there.
And the other one, yeah. It's more cozy.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yep, more comfortable, and if you were the pigeons, you'll be more comfortable here.
Yeah, they're happy in here.
Yeah, they were. Can we take a look at your breeding thing?
Yeah. It's a mess right now, but
oh yeah, it's just yeah, that's the one you posted on Facebook, right?
yeah. So we got basically got 42 of these individual pens, and
yeah, I remember when I asked you about the size of these.
yeah, Yeah. I built these ones a little bit smaller than I did on that side.
Yeah.
It's good to be able to reach, you know, reach all the way in the top corner.
Yeah.
That one there, it's like, oh, I just made these ones a little bit smaller. In an individual pen, it's very important that the birds can fly up and down. Exercise their wings. Some guys do it a little small. That's not good for the birds. They got to be able to move.
Yeah, sometimes I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sometimes the birds are not because they're not moving well.
Yeah.
They will.
Yeah, their wings can. Yeah, their wings get stiff.
Flap. Yeah, get stiff.
So. Yeah. So. It's good and it's bad, because the bad part about this, I can breed early, but in the wintertime, then you got the door closed and the air quality's not good and they're not getting natural sunlight. And this time of year is when you always raise your best babies. Fresh air, lots of sunlight, you know, but it's late for racing this year, you know, this time of year.
Where's your oldest pigeon here?
My oldest pigeon?
Yeah.
Yellow rosiers lahat. Actually, yung baseline, base bloodline niya. Yellow rosiers.
Fine.
16.
Ooh, I like this.
16 years old.
And it's still totally.
Yep.
Ang ganda ng mga breeding niya. Gusto ko ng ganda. And this one. Wow.
Yeah.
Next breeding section. Years old.
16 years old? Still produces?
16 years
Oh yeah, he's inbreeding.
Yeah.
16.
Yeah. See the white guy up here? Pure white.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Bill, do you have like technique on two?
Come on, girls. Come on. Come. So that's the Versailles Deep Pure mix.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is
oh,
so